Hi.
Hello.
Oh my God.
What was your song?
Oh. I might kill my ex. Not the best idea. His new girlfriend's next. How'd I get here? That was Kang singing to Janet Van Dyne.
Oh, I was just like...
Baby was hurt. Listen, we gonna get there.
Well, no, that was Krylar.
No, Janet was down there being Nancy Reagan throat goat. I know she was. We gonna get to it. But
he
anyway,
was definitely in his fifis.
I know a heart just hurt. I know a heartbroken nigga when I see one. She was doing some things to him, okay? But anyway,
she ain't know if she was gonna see her man again.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that at all. I've seen Jonathan Majors. Anyway, hey y'all.
Hello everyone.
This is the Southside of Wakanda podcast, the best MCU podcast in the multiverse. I am Kang's chin strap.
Oh, is that where we were going today?
Is where we at now.
And I am Broccoli Rob. I thought about that as I was like logging into Zoom. I was just like, who am I today? Just guess. Guys want to touch my chest.
Oh my God.
Okay, sorry.
So this is a podcast for the Marvel Cinematic Universe fans. We discuss the Marvel live action movies and TV shows without the context of the comic books because you do not need to have read them in order to understand movies. If you're like us or if you aren't, but you're still interested in listening and not gatekeeping fiction, welcome. We are
gatekeeping fiction.
Right. We're on a little hiatus right now, but we're back to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumanium.
Yes.
But before we get into that...
How's your hiatus been, Brittany?
It's been eventful. Lots of things have happened. But I have missed the podcast real bad.
I have too. Like, we talked about this a little bit ago, like a week or two ago. Like, I have so much time on my hands.
Yeah. I didn't know how much time I was dedicating to this until it was over.
Between this and school, I really have so much time on my hands now that I don't have it.
Yeah.
And then I replaced it with a baby. And it still doesn't eat up nearly as much of my time.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Because he just sleep.
Yeah.
He just be sleep. And I just be like, okay, what do I do?
I've missed hobbies. It's so great. I'm happy to be back. Hopefully, we
our
can...
Our bestie time.
Yes. Most importantly, that's what I've been missing.
Yes.
But other than that, it's been great. How about your hiatus so far?
Well, I passed my class.
Yay!
And then I had a baby.
Yay!
But it's been cool. It's been freaking boring though.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been so boring. And it's like, it's only so much TV you can watch. I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy, and that's fun. Yeah. You know, I'm not even a video game girl, but that's fun. But I also, like, I've been meaning to text you about this. I realize why I don't play video games. I lose interest so quick.
Yeah.
Like, my boyfriend, he started after me, and I was, like, ahead of him for a while. And now he's, like, halfway through the game, and I'm, like, still at the very beginning. And I'm just like, I don't, and it's not like, to me, I mean, I guess it's a beatable game, but it's so much shit that happens in the game that I'm just like, there's absolutely no possible way that I'm gonna beat this, so I might as well just like give up.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I'm like that too. I had a moment when I was playing The Sims real heavy, like a month ago, and then I haven't touched it. Like one day I put it down and I haven't gone back. No.
We're the same in that. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's just like, I go through little phases.
Yeah.
And it's like, I went through this thing with tea this one time, and I was like really into tea, and I would buy a bunch of different types of tea and like good honey and all of this stuff, like gourmet shit. And then and that was for like a month. And then
a month is a good amount of time though.
And then I just didn't go back to it. And now I'm just sitting on hella tea.
Yeah, so. You're like quietly a tea expert over there. Just
and then I was like, that you're like, and I'm like, that was fun. Right. And then I just
now I'm bored. What's next?
Exactly. Oh, maybe it's the ADD. Okay, go ahead.
Gotta be. All right, let's get into some news. So obviously we've missed a whole lot. I think the last episode we recorded was like November for Black Panther, or
did we do the Guardians of the Galaxy after that?
We did, yeah. I forgot. That was December. So
when I pulled up GarageBand, that came up, and I was like, interesting. I forgot we even recorded that.
I forgot that I saw it until I saw the preview, but a lot of shit has happened since then. Kevin Feige been saying a whole lot of things. So let's just go down the list. First, he said he confirmed that Bucky will be the leader in the Thunderbolts.
I feel like we kind of knew that.
Did we know that?
Well, just based off of his placement in the
poster.
The poster, yeah.
I was hoping that it was gonna be Yelena, just because from Allegra, whatever the fuck her name is, how bad she want that fucking vibranium. So I'm like, okay, are you finna try to double cross the Wakandans with that vibranium arm of yours? Like, what's T?
Yeah, they'll snatch it right back.
Yeah, because I already went upside your head. So
exactly, like, let's not.
I don't know, Buck. I don't know. I was hoping that he was just gonna end up being roped into some shit and not be the leader. But I mean, we're gonna have to see. We're gonna see. I don't know. But we ain't gonna find out until next year because that don't come out until 2024. Feige also said, which we already knew, that going forward it's going to be less Disney Plus shows, and they're going to be way more spaced out because people was complaining about fucking oversaturation and all of these things, and y'all getting what y'all wanted.
I can get that. I can get into that. But I also feel like we've already kind of been introduced to the player, like the people that they probably were going to introduce anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure they're going to introduce more people, but as far as like the players that are going to be like kind of, I guess, headliners or, big people going forward, they've already been established. So
yeah, I agree.
So it's not really a need for that many more TV shows.
Right. Because I'm assuming that the TV shows that we've gotten are of people that like are gonna be a part of like the Avengers movies, like Secret Wars or Kang Dynasty or whatever. So we're gonna need that. I'm hoping that they was not just like if I find out that we just got a She-Hulk show just for kicks and giggles and we never plan on seeing that bitch again, I'm gonna be upset. So
yeah, but I don't think that that's the case.
Right.
Like, every single one of these shows, well, we don't really know where like She-Hulk is going, but like we know that we're going to see Kamala Khan again.
Right.
We know that we're going to, revisit the whole, like, Loki series and stuff like that again.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Like, people made it seem
Moon
like they
Knight
were
is getting a season 2. Like, these weren't just people. They weren't just putting this content out just to put it out.
Hopefully, yeah. I don't believe that. But
and 2, yeah. I'm sure it makes more sense for them as far as like the special effects goes. They're not like overworking their special effects team. They're not overworking, because I know Kevin Feige and Luis Despacito be booked and busy. They be working hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they were probably getting some burnout too. So not that they care, but
yeah. Well, hopefully we appreciate the shit, and hopefully that improves like the quality, so it's going to be a quality over quantity thing. I'm never going to be mad about that. So
100%.
He also said that starting with Daredevil Born Again, that they will be introducing like more self-contained story episodes instead of just like that overarching plot, and I think that's going to be good. I feel like we should definitely return to form as far as TV is going. Like, I've said I miss the days when TV seasons was 22 episodes long and you got a Halloween episode and a Christmas episode, and it was more like fun, So maybe
I wish that there was less content out there. And like as long as, okay, I do not mind 20 episode seasons as long as you know where the story's going. Mm-hmm. At least if you're going to do 20 episode seasons, don't have it be 10 seasons long.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think that makes sense for especially these Marvel shows.
Yeah, because like if I'm only getting 10 episodes a year and then you're only going to do like 3 or 4 seasons, I don't know. That to me doesn't make much sense because you can binge watch 10 episodes in less than a week.
Oh yeah.
And then you have to wait a year. So it's like if you're going to give me 20 something episodes and that's going to take up half the year, I don't know. That just, to me, that just makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because I know I've said like, you know, back in the day when they used to do them 20, like watching Grey's Anatomy was a freaking, that was work.
It was part of your life. It was one episode a week, and you would come home after school and you would watch Grey's Anatomy. That's just what you was doing.
Like rewatching shows like Pretty Little Liars or Gossip Girl when it was at the height of that type of like, you know, TV, like the episodic like storytelling or whatever. But then like half the episodes didn't even need to be there. Like when you rewatch it, you're just like, half of this is filler.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you're going to give me 20 something episodes, make it freaking worth it.
It definitely needs
but
to
also
be some
give
kind
me
of a
the
middle
holiday
ground.
Specials and stuff.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it should be like a middle ground. And then like, I feel like I like the longer season format if you're going to just like give it to me once a week. I enjoy that.
Yes.
For like a couple months. But if it's only going to be like 6 or 7 episodes, bitch, get to the point.
Yes. 100%. I agree.
Okay, so he did confirm. People were talking about this like it was news, but maybe it wasn't. Deadpool 3 is going to be rated R. I didn't think it would be rated anything else, but maybe people was worried because Disney is making the movie now. Mm-hmm. But Kevin said it's going to be rated R. He also said that Harrison Ford's Thunderbolt Ross is going to be the president in the MCU, and Harrison
Ford is here.
He's the president.
Bro, I have that as a note somewhere. Oh, it was in my notes app because they showed a Indiana Jones trailer, and I put Harrison Ford is here. You get him back well.
I'm happy. I'm so excited to see him. Like I think they put up like a little picture, and he's just like such a handsome old little man.
I love Harrison Ford.
I love him too.
Much.
Yes,
I love him. I like one of the most random things, like Air Force One is one of my favorite movies. I think I've talked about that on the podcast. Like that, anytime that movie is on TV, I'm watching it.
Yes.
If I see it on a streaming service, I'm watching it. I'm like, and it's one of those movies I don't even know like the word. I can't quote the movie, but I've seen that movie a million times and I love it. Never gets old.
That's how I feel about Con Air.
Nothing makes me sadder than the agent lost his bladder on the airplane.
Oh my God. We watched that Nicolas Cage movie. What is it? Under the Weight of Something.
Yeah.
That movie.
Like very meta.
Yes.
Like the Nicolas Cage, like he plays himself.
It was amazing. You should watch it. There was like lots of National Treasure references. Oh my God.
I've watched National Treasure during this hiatus.
Yeah.
I think, that was before. I think, maybe we were on the hiatus, but I was still at work because I was watching it at work.
I was telling Prince, like,
damn, I love this movie.
When that popped up in the movie, I was like, that's me and Shani movie. Like, we would watch that anytime, anywhere. We're watching National Treasure.
100%.
Okay, so he's gonna be in the Marvels that is coming out this year.
I hate living next to a freaking Air Force base. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear it now. Now that I'm listening to it.
Yeah, okay. It's loud.
Speaking of the Marvels, that movie got a new poster and it's showing all 3 of the ladies. It's a cute poster.
I like the poster.
Yeah.
And Monica looking good.
Yes, she do.
I was like, okay, hips, hair.
Hips and hair. That's all you see too. Yes. I am sad though because the movie was supposed to come out in July and now it's not coming out until November. So
yeah, I saw that.
That fucking sucks. So after Ant-Man, we got the Guardians in May, and then it was gonna be Marvel's in July, but now that's in November, and
yo, when is Secret Wars coming out? Wait, not Secret Wars. Secret Invasion.
I have no idea.
They said spring, but I feel like we haven't gotten a like set date for that.
No, they have not said shit else. And then we got the trailer, and then that's it. Nobody said anything else.
It's just gonna show up. It's a secret. It's just gonna pop up on Disney Plus.
Yep.
Honestly, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
I'm excited about that, and that's why I was just like, oh, it's gonna be less shows, but look, just give us the stuff. If it's done, just give it here. I want it. What else? Okay, so finally, again, they said that Blade is gonna be starting to film within the next 10 or so weeks. I'm not really getting my heart too invested in that shit no more.
I know, because it wasn't that supposed to come out this year too.
At some point, maybe, but it's been pushed back so many times. I think it's supposed to come out next year. It's supposed to be in this phase, though. So I don't know. I'm a little concerned. I don't know. Also, in our
I just hope that it's something that they can kind of like move around. Hopefully, it's not like integral to like a specific part of the story, and then they have to, shuffle other things away around. Hopefully, it's kind of like Eternals, where honestly, Eternals could have just been wherever. Like it didn't really matter too much. Yeah, but.
And I hate when they have to shuffle stuff around, because I feel like we've talked about, that's probably one of the reasons why people didn't like Black Widow. Yeah, that's why they didn't like Black Widow as much. Like, not that it was an amazing movie, but if it would have came out at a different time, I think people would have liked it more.
Or the same thing with Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, on my hiatus, I got it. I didn't get into it, but I like was at a party and I was like stuck in a conversation with somebody talking about Marvel, and they had absolutely cold takes, and I was just like, ugh,
stop talking to me.
And it was a man. At that, and I was just like
double ugh.
Yeah, and he just like had terrible takes. Like it almost was like he just watched a bunch of like TikTok videos and just kind of regurgitated everything that those people were saying, and didn't actually like formulate their own thought or opinion. And then when I was just like, well, okay, but what about this? And they're like, oh yeah, well, like shut the fuck up.
For those men, I like to tell them like She-Hulk was my favorite show. And then
he didn't like She-Hulk.
They never liked She-Hulk. And I was just like... So that's why I lead with that.
Exactly. I was just like, well, why didn't you like She-Hulk? Was it... Yeah. I was... As soon as... And I was at the very beginning of the conversation. And I was just like... After that, I just zoned out. And then he was very gregarious and would just not stop talking. And I was like... Awesome, this is fun. Boyfriend, come save me. Boyfriend is off talking to his best friend. So I'm like, cool.
I remember you telling me this story, and I was just like, people
and I was so pregnant.
Happy that Shani is the civilized person that she is. Because me, I'm an acting ass. Especially if I was pregnant, I would have just touched my belly and be like, oh my God, you're exhausting. And I would have walked away. Oh my God.
I was just like, my fake face, like when it's just like my mouth is smiling, but my eyes are completely dead. Mm-hmm. That's what I was doing. I was just like,
oh God, I hope y'all watch this on YouTube so you can see the face that she just made.
Or Spotify. Spotify has video too.
That's hilarious. Okay, so the last bit of news, since we've been on a break, the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 trailer has dropped. I think we've gotten 2 trailers. I don't think I saw the first one. I thought the second one was the first one because I watched it before Ant-Man. It looks fine. It looks like it's gonna be sad. I think it's gonna be great.
I like they played it before Ant-Man, and I was just like
trying not to watch it.
Yeah, because I know that was the second time that I knew that was the second trailer. So I was just like, and then Drax said something funny, and I was like, oh, this movie is going to be like funny and heartbreaking.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
I feel like this movie is gonna be what everybody has been waiting for, as far as like
Marvel.
Yes, because they hated Love and Thunder, they hated Multiverse of Madness, they hated this movie.
Yeah, you know, like James Gunn is about to bring it.
Yes. Speaking of James Gunn, so there's been a lot of DC news. He's over there shaking things up.
Shaking the table.
Yeah, he said like all of the new stuff that he's working on. It was like a 4-minute video. I'm not like a DC girl like that, so I can't really tell you if it's exciting or not. But the DC people are very fucking hyped about it, and pretty much, right? Pretty much, he said a lot of the casting is gonna stay the same. He haven't said anything about Henry Cavill. I don't think he's gonna be Superman anymore. They're still doing the Batman sequel and the Joker sequel, which is going to be a musical with Lady Gaga, which I hated that idea. But then I saw that still picture that they released and I was like, I'm going to be there.
I didn't see that.
I'm going to be there. Oh my gosh. She looks
You know,
great.
it would be awesome if it was like a musical that was like in his head or like just kind of from his point of view because he just kind of crazy.
Oh, it's definitely going to be some loony ass shit going on.
Yeah, and I think that would just, you know, I'm a musical girl, so I'm in there. Like, I love that idea.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great.
Also, were we on our hiatus when The Rock said that he wasn't coming back as Black Adam?
I can't remember. I'm so over her. Like, I don't pay attention to nothing that she be doing. I'm so over The Rock. Like, you're not coming back.
And that's so crazy because we really used to like stand The Rock, and now I'm just like so tired of him.
Me and Prince have had so many conversations about why we think Dave Bautista is like the actor out of all the wrestling bros, and The Rock thinks he's doing what Dave Bautista is actually doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had this conversation like just between us. And I think that Dave Bautista is like, it's him, then John Cena, and then all the way at the bottom is Rock.
Which is a crazy turn of events. Like, Peacemaker really saved John Cena. He's phenomenal in that show. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I would have never, who would have thought? Not me.
Funny.
But what I was getting at is that, okay, so James Gunn said, you know, they still releasing that Flash movie with Ezra Domestic Violence Miller. So
I really hate that
and it's terrible because I watched the preview before the movie. The movie looks good. Like, it has a lot of potential. Yeah. And I leaned over and told Prince, like, it's really sad that all people are talking about is how fucked up Ezra Miller is and not how potentially great this movie is going to be. He really fucked them all over. But, so it was some controversy with Straw Hat Goofy on TikTok. Did you see this last week?
I don't think so.
So, he always in some shit. It's crazy. I unfollowed him after that last thing, but I still be getting people talking about his ass on my timeline.
Like, I see his videos every now and then, but I actually really haven't even been on TikTok like that. Like, every now and then, I'm like, ooh, the baby is asleep. Let me get some TikTok time in or whatever. So, I don't know. I've seen videos. I don't think it wasn't controversial, so I don't think it's the video that you're talking about.
No, it was a whole thing. So, basically, he made a video talking about how much he loves the character, The Flash, and he's read the comic books, etc. And he was saying that he really hopes that this movie is going to hit on certain points in his like origin story that were in the comics and how he's excited about it. So somebody in the comments was like, I don't understand like how you can still support this movie. And so instead of just like ignoring it or commenting like, I don't know, he decided to do a whole like video. And in his video, he was like, let me just address this real quick, simple and easy. Go watch the movie. And so people had a fucking field day just ripping him apart. Like, his whole video was saying like, Ezra Miller, you know, is a piece of shit, but if we don't go watch the movie, then like the production crew and stuff, like that'll affect them getting paid, and he should just donate the money that he gets from the movie to people, blase, blase. And people in the comments were like, well, no, everybody who worked on the movie has gotten paid already. Like, they are fine. The only person who would really benefit from the box office numbers is Ezra Miller, depending on what his contract is set up like. And it was like a lot of people duetting him that was just like, no, like you have a platform of 3 million people and you're sitting up there telling them to go spend their money and support this movie that will directly support somebody who is an abuser. Like, what the fuck are you talking about right now?
Right.
And so me and Prince was arguing about it, and he is on the side that's just like, the movie was already made. Right. I'm gonna go and see it. And a lot of people were saying like, it's kind of fucked up that Warner Brothers is still releasing this movie, given all of the abuse allegations and stuff, when nothing was wrong with the Batgirl movie, and they completely just scrapped it and threw it out the window, and it was completely done. So
I don't really know how I feel about it, because I remember like when we were talking, like when Black Panther was still in production and stuff like that, and people were like gunning for Letitia Wright's head. Mm-hmm. We were just like, you know, there are other people that were in this movie that also this affects too. So like, I don't really know how I feel about that, because it's like, yeah, you don't want to support.
That's similar to what she did, but he's
way worse. No, I know he's like on a completely different level. I'm not saying like as far as like allegations, like he's similar to her, but just like the fact that people don't want to support a particular person that's in the movie or the headliner in the movie, but they want to see the movie. It's like what do you do in that situation? Like, I guess it's kind of like a conscious thing. Like, if you okay with supporting an abuser and supporting this person, knowing that you putting money in their pockets, then that's on you. That's between you and God.
Yeah, I think.
And then like, but then it's like, isn't Michael Keaton in this movie? Like, or was it?
He's in
the
it.
other. Oh, okay. I thought I wasn't sure if it was
the other
him or
one
George
is in
Clooney.
It too. No, not George him. Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is in it, and Michael Keaton.
See, and so that like that is cool to me. So it's like when I saw that, I was like, dang, like I want to see that, but like, do I really want to spend my money on him?
No, I'm not gonna go and see it. I am gonna watch it when it hits HBO Max though, and I feel like from what I've seen, a lot of people are choosing to do that because they like, number one, I'm already paying for HBO Max anyway.
Right.
And it's going to be on HBO Max. So I'm just going to watch it on HBO Max. That's how I watch Black Adam anyway. So whatever. And then two, all of them people that we just named are so fucking rich. Like,
true.
They don't need my $20.
Exactly. That is not going to affect them. And, you know, I really don't even go to see DC movies in theater anyway.
Yeah. I mean,
the last time wasn't my choice.
Right. I would be lying if I said I didn't want to see the movie and I don't plan on watching it. I do want to see it and I do plan on watching it. But I'm probably not going to spend no extra money to see it. And I hope, and I think a lot of people's hope is that by not supporting it with their dollars, then they will reinforce to Warner Brothers like, hey, y'all are going to fucking recast him. Like, don't fuck around and find out. I think a lot of people see like the opportunity, like if the movie makes a whole lot of money, and a couple years pass, then they'll be just like...
People will forget.
They will forget, and he will slide right the fuck up in there. But, I don't know. I don't know. I really do hope that they just draw the fucking line somewhere. In case anybody needs a quick refresher, in 2020, he choked out a woman outside of a bar. Then in 2022, he was charged with disorderly conduct in Hawaii. He had several incidents, like abuse allegations, at some bar in Hawaii. He got a restraining order filed against him from some other people. Then he got a second-degree assault charge in another case. Then he was accused of grooming. It's just a lot of stuff. He broke into somebody's house and stole jewelry, like crazy ass
shit.
He's
a criminal. He's a criminal.
It's not even everything. Like, I'm still scrolling. It's more stuff, and I'm not even gonna read it all out. So, I don't know. My takeaway for Strawhead Goofy is when you have 3 million followers, you have to be very careful with what you say, especially if you are an influencer. That's what he is. He influences people to go see movies and talk about them. So you just have to be careful. And I think that's what people were saying. Like, if you plan to go see the movie and talk about it for your job, to make your TikTok money, okay. I mean, you got a family to feed.
Right.
But when you turn around and tell your 3 million followers, like, fuck whatever Ezra Miller said, go pay and buy a ticket, that's something completely different.
Very true.
Okay. So we got an email this week. You want to read it?
Yes. All right. This email is from our number one fan, JC.
Hey, friend.
Hey, what's up, Southside? It's your boy, JC again. Glad to hear y'all voices again. Congrats on the accomplishments you ladies have achieved in your hiatus. I just wanted to reach out and say, with all the Kang the Conqueror hoopla that everyone is up in arms about, we have a very omnipresent threat that I don't think gets enough attention. And that's none other than the baddest bitch, Antoinette Fettuccine Allegra, whatever. LOL.
I'm mad none of us know her name.
That sentence sent me over the edge when I read this. It's like Allegra de Fontaine or Fettuccine Alfredo is what we gonna call her.
Definitely Fettuccine. Okay.
But in all seriousness, if you track back some of her actions, she's been quietly proven to be a massive threat to the MCU. Not on the scale as big as Kang, but one to look out for. We know she'll be a big part in Thunderbolts. However, I suspect her role is far greater than what we think based on the information and skills she's shown she has. Love to know what you guys think. Southside.
I agree.
Amazing question. Yeah. Amazing question. Queen Karen is in charge, and that is scary. And there is nothing scarier than a white bitch in charge.
Whew, God.
a white woman with power is give me Kang 20 times.
I swear. Over. I was thinking like low-key, I'm more afraid of her than Kang. And it's just because like from what we saw in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, she was just like, oh, I knew exactly what she was doing. I was just letting you have it. She was fucking playing with, like, that's a bitch who like to play with her food before she eat it. I'm scared.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, like, after I read this email and then I thought, like, oh, yeah, she's Queen Karen. She's, like, coming for everybody. Like, she wants all the power.
Yeah.
She wants all the vibranium. Like, and she's gonna do whatever it takes. Like, she, like, wants the power that like Wakanda has. Like she said that in Black Panther. And she's like, you know, basically, you know, when Agent Ross was just like, do you know what they could be doing? Like, well, what the United States would do if they had the power that Wakanda had. And she's like, oh, I dream of it. And that's like chills. Like,
yeah,
she is a force to be reckoned with. Also, I know you've been watching The Last of Us. She kind of reminds me of like Kathleen when it's just like very muted, very subtle.
Just more like more or less emotional than Kathleen, like more calculated. 100%.
Yes.
She reminds me of Cersei. She's giving me Cersei Lannister vibes. Like that bitch.
Yes.
I'm really curious to see what the Thunderbolts is gonna be like because I feel like she's so calm and just unhinged. Like it's the Thanos effect. Like we very rarely saw Thanos angry. He was always very in control of his emotions and everybody around him. Like
exactly. And the fact that like people think that women are emotional and stuff like that, and she's just like literally letting shit play out. And
yeah.
Oh, she is.
I wonder what's her zodiac sign. She definitely a fire sign. I don't know. She might be.
I get Scorpio vibes from her. Yeah. Or maybe like a Virgo.
Maybe. It's definitely.
I don't know. I don't know if a Virgo is a fire sign, but like, as meticulous as she is, she seems like a Virgo. But then she just has like this like.
I get either Scorpio or Sagittarius vibes. I know my people when I see them. She's way too calm. Like that bitch got some plans.
She's definitely not a Capricorn. Like, I know that much.
So yeah, I think people definitely are sleeping on her. Like it's probably because she's a woman too.
See her more, and the fact that she was even able to like kind of turn Yelena like with absolutely no information. Yeah. No information whatsoever. She was able to turn Yelena against Hawkeye.
Yeah,
not that she was ever with Hawkeye. Yeah, but yeah, like she's gonna be a problem. 1000%.
I really hope that they drag it out too. Like I hope like the Thunderbolts is not like the end of her. I hope that she's just constantly fucking up shit in the background. I really want that for her.
Like just like a little puppeteer.
Yes.
And then too, like I just love how in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, she knows how to like prey on a broken man's ego. Because that's exactly what the fuck she did with John Walker.
Yeah.
She was just like, oh, they don't want you to be Captain America anymore. But guess what? You can be on my team.
Yes.
Of evil Avengers. You know, when you play like Mortal Kombat and like you pick two different people, like you and the other person pick the same person, and it's like they just have on different colors.
Yeah.
Like that's how I think about like the Thunderbolts versus the Avengers.
Yeah.
They're just like the evil Avengers.
Yeah, that's accurate. Oh my God. Yeah, I definitely agree. Damn, it was something else I was going to say, and it just literally flew out of my brain. It's mom brain. I don't know.
I know. It's been happening to me a lot lately.
Isn't it terrible? It almost feel like I got like Alzheimer's or something. Like I just
no. It literally is just like somebody like was like, and it just blew all my thoughts out of my brain.
But yeah, I like where this is heading. I hope that she continues to stress everybody else out. It was something I was gonna say about that whole John Walker thing, and I really am upset that I cannot remember it. But
we love like the whole like espionage, boots on the ground aspect of the MCU. So I'm just glad that like we also have a threat here on the Earth.
I remember what I was gonna say now. I was gonna say that she is like gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss, like encapsulated. That's who she is. Because I was thinking about how she must have acted in that marriage with Martin Freeman.
Yes.
She probably was gaslighting the fuck out of him. Like, low key, 100%. He's scared of her. Low key.
Yes.
He don't want to fuck with her.
Ain't no low key. She got her ex-husband arrested. Not even like, oh yeah, I'm going to frame him for murder like most white women. Like.
Right.
She's just like, I'm just going to set a trap that I know you're going to take, and then I'm going to just arrest you then for being a traitor.
Honestly,
for treason.
She might be my new favorite villain. Let's see. I don't know. Because I'm definitely in the Kangdom right now, but...
Oh, 100%. I put Kang KangdomMania. Like, all of these movies are his.
Girl, on that note, let's go ahead and talk about Ant-Man. Let's go. So,
okay. Thanks for the email, JC.
Yes. All right, so Ant-Man and the Wasp KangdomMania. This is Marvel's 31st film.
I saw that.
30 fucking one. Look at y'all. The worldwide gross, this movie made $359.3 million, which is a little low, but it's actually surprisingly more than Thor Love and Thunder made it. Because that movie made $343.2 million. Multiverse of Madness, out of this, like the newer after the Infinity Saga, I think that one made the most money. Actually, I didn't even look at Spider-Man No Way Home, but Multiverse of Madness made $952 million. Black Panther made $855 million. So, of the newer movies, this is like kind of up there. It did better than Thor, but worse than the rest of them. Obviously, It did not do as much. Didn't bring in as much money as the first two Ant-Man movies, because that was pre-COVID. Back in a different time.
We can't even compare.
We're not even those
can't
people
compete
anymore.
Where you don't compare.
Right. Yeah. As far as the Rotten Tomatoes score goes, this one is probably the worst out of the Ant-Man movies. So the first one, it got
keep going.
83 critics, 85 audience. The second one, 87 critics, 80 audience. And the third one is a 48 for the critics and a 84 for the audience. So
I think that the critic score is extremely harsh.
I think so too. And I've seen a lot of people talking about this, and I saw one video that I really agreed with, and he said that he thinks that the critics want it to be like a Marvel fatigue. Like they want us to hate these movies and be tired of them. And we still going to see them. And they just can't understand. Like,
but I feel like if you're being a critic, you should probably be a little bit like unbiased.
Yeah.
As far as like your personal feelings goes towards the franchise or what it means to, you know, all them freaking like big wigs in Hollywood be sucking each other's dicks. Like, oh my God. You remember that video I sent you? It was like Tom Cruise and Steven Spielberg, like just jerking each other off, doing a circle jerk. Yeah, like shut the hell up.
Beef?
Like,
let's take a moment. Hold on.
Okay, because like Tom Cruise has been making Mission Impossible movies since the fucking 90s.
Come on.
And y'all think that franchises like Marvel
Top Gun Maverick
ruining
saved movies? Top Gun Maverick.
I ain't even seen a movie, but I know that there have been better movies. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once came out. I haven't seen that, but that movie is extremely esteemed.
Phenomenal.
And you're telling me that Top Gun Maverick
I
saved
watched it.
movies?
Remember when I was voice noting you? Like, I voice noted you as I was watching it, and then afterwards I sent Shani a whole TED talk about that movie. I watched it, and I'm a fan of Top Gun. I remember when it was coming out like last summer, and I was on this podcast like, oh yeah, I'm excited to see Top Gun Maverick. And I finally watched it. It was a Top Gun movie. Like, they acting like this shit.
Giving it a lot.
Y'all need to calm
it's
down.
gonna win the best movie at the Oscars.
The fact that it was nominated for an Oscar.
Let's be serious. Like,
what?
Fucking Tom Cruise must be running Hollywood at this point
Man.
with all his other aliens, because I don't understand the hype that this movie got.
No.
When there are way better movies that came out.
Way better. And I don't even want to sound like a hater, because I have an unreasonable and unrealistic love for Tom Cruise. Y'all know this. I be watching his movies. I watched War of the Worlds, and Edge of Tomorrow within like the past 2 or 3 weeks. I love Tom Cruise and his crazy ass, and I love Top Gun, and I enjoyed this movie, but it was not that good. Like, how much money that movie made, like, I think what happened was, it's just a segment of America who really enjoys movies like that. And maybe they feel like they haven't had a movie like that to go and see it in a while. And they ran out to see it. Because it's just Top Gun. It's just airplanes and egos. It's just, that's it. It's cool to look at. And that's why
I said, like, everybody in Hollywood are just doing a circle jerk at this point.
Yeah.
Because, like, why are y'all giving this movie so much?
Like, y'all cannot be mad at Marvel and then not also be mad at Top Gun. It's the same genre, or they genre adjacent. Come on.
Yeah. Like, and then I was thinking while I was at the movies, people are mad at Marvel, but at least Marvel tells, like, stories that make sense. There's another Fast and the Furious movie that's coming out.
I'm so excited.
Why does no one talk about that? Why does no one talk about the fact that, like, these were street racers,
and they still make a lot of movies? I mean, not movies. They still make a lot of money. People still go out in droves.
People love
the
Fast and the Furious movie.
Yep.
I hopped off the train. I've been off. I'm good on them. I will never watch another one as long as I live. That is my vow. But, like, people still go and watch these movies, and, like, yeah, they might be enjoyable. They might be feel-good movies, but they're still a franchise movie.
Yes.
People give Marvel shit, but not Fast and the Furious, not Mission Impossible, not what's the other one? I just had it in my head. Star Wars. So it's like, I don't understand why they own Marvel's nuts so bad. Is it like
it's trendy to hate on Marvel? It
is.
Yeah.
And then I think we talked about this. Jennifer Lopez was talking shit about Marvel. Maybe this happened in our hiatus and we talked about it amongst ourselves.
I think we talked about it on the show. I can't remember though.
I can't remember, but this bitch just came out with another wedding movie.
Another one.
She has 2 wedding movies that came out within a year of each other, talking about why don't people go and see my movies? Bitch, because you're living out your fantasy, getting married on TV.
Yeah.
Like, no one cares.
We don't care,
Jennifer. We
Jennifer.
literally do not care. You already collecting rings in real life like fucking Thanos. Mm-hmm. But like, you think that we're supposed to care that you getting married in these movies. Girl, bye. You're not even like a good actor.
No,
like,
absolutely not. She
should have just been a socialite, like, honestly. Cause
and then everybody says she's a bitch in real life, so it's double fuck her. Like, I've seen so many TikToks of people like restaurant workers, like, she's terrible. So
yeah, I have to. So as a former server, Jennifer Lopez, if you're watching this,
right. So yeah, I don't know. I agree with some of the criticisms of this movie, but I still feel like 48% is kind of harsh.
Way too low.
Yeah, because I don't think this is even close to being like the worst MCU movie. It's definitely not the best, but
it's definitely right in the middle.
Yeah. So 48, I
think that it was a decent movie, but I don't think that it's definitely not deserving of a 48%.
Yeah.
I think the critics score is a little bit more accurate. I feel like I would give it like a 80%, maybe like 78 to 80%.
So yeah, director of Ant-Man 1 and 2, Peyton Reed, returned for this third installment in the trilogy, and we got pretty much most of the main cast back with a few additions. We got Katherine Newton as our grown-up Cassie Lang. Of course, we got Jonathan Majors. Randomly had Bill Murray, and
Chidi,
William Jackson Harper. I was happy to see him.
Me too. I was like, what do I know him from? And then I was like, oh my God.
And he looks so handsome in this. In The Good Place, he looked a little rusty, but he looked a lot better.
He was still so handsome to me in The Good Place. He
love Chidi, yes.
Yeah. No Chidi slander. I had like a lot of times during this movie, it's been a minute since I've watched like Ant-Man and Loki and stuff like that. It was like sometime last year. Mm-hmm. But I was just like, how old is Katherine Newton supposed to be in this movie? I feel like, okay, because she was 6 years old in Ant-Man 1. Mm-hmm. And then let's just say there was like an Ant-Man that was around the same time as Sokovia, and let's just say there was a year between Sokovia and the Sokovia Accords. So let's just say she would be 7 around the Sokovia Accords. Okay. Then Scott was in jail for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So that would make her 9. Blip happened, right? And then the blip happened pretty much right after all of this. Well, after all of that. And let's just say that was 5 years. So let's just say she was 14 in that scene from Endgame. Mm-hmm. How much time has passed since? That's the one thing that's not very clear.
Yeah.
And like they'll put out little, they'll be like, oh yeah, this happens at the same time as this. And this is how much time has passed. I am still not clear about how much time has passed since the blip.
Yeah, me either. And I think it's even more confusing because we've seen other movies that take place at various times. Because I think I can't even remember which one takes place first, Multiverse of Madness or Spider-Man. I know it's not the order that they came out in.
No, Spider-Man happens before. I think Spider-Man happens before Multiverse of Madness because at the beginning they say something regarding Spider-Man. In every single movie, they mention Spider-Man in some way, shape, or form, but not Peter Parker.
Right.
So I am assuming that Multiverse of Madness takes place sometime after that.
So maybe this took place like 3 or 4 years after Endgame? I don't know. I honestly have no clue.
I'm not sure too, because like Katherine Newton is like maybe 24, 25. Mm-hmm. And even though she looks young, she still looks a little bit more mature.
Maybe she's supposed, I think in the movie, I assumed that she was going to be either 17 or 18, probably more like 17.
I put her between like 17 and 18 too. And I looked it up and I want to say that somebody said that she was probably 17, but like, I think we're all just speculating at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I just would like a little
clarity.
Timeline, because obviously, like, as evident in this movie, they're still dealing with the ramifications of the blip. Obviously, they'll probably be dealing with that for some time if it happened in real life, as far as like people being displaced, because it happened on such a large scale. So, but some more clarity on like the passage of time would be great.
Yeah.
Marvel.
I think we're going to have to wait for some nerd to post a video on TikTok.
For real, or like a YouTube breakdown.
Yeah. Okay, so for our little non-spoiler, we always tell y'all to watch everything before y'all watch one of these movies. But if you just want a refresher, I think both Ant-Mans, obviously, like you said, it has a lot to do with the blip. So you need to watch Infinity War and Endgame and Loki. I couldn't think of anything else that you might need to watch to just like refresh yourself.
No, so I think that covers it.
So basically what happens, non-spoiler in case you haven't seen it yet, this happens after Endgame. We see where Scott and all of his people are living their life, what they're doing, and everything is going well until his daughter decides to use a beacon to the quantum realm like a fucking science project. And they all get sucked in, and of course Kang is waiting for them, and they got to figure out how to get home. In a nutshell, that's what happens in this movie.
KangdomMania, No Way Home.
Basically. So I think we both kind of have said our surface level thoughts about this movie. I think it was okay.
Same. I think it was an okay movie.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. It was funny. It's really crazy to me that, like, maybe because of the director or whatever, as far as it's almost like they were kind of going for visuals that are like Guardians of the Galaxy, but it didn't really hit for me. Like a lot of people compare it to like Spy Kids.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Basically it's like a shot for shot of Spy Kids. And then like some of the writing wasn't nearly as good to me.
No.
But in my opinion, Jonathan Majors and Michelle Pfeiffer carried.
Yes.
Carried.
I literally said that to Prince. Like, those two in the movie, I was like, oh, they for real right now. Yes.
No, seriously.
Yeah.
Everybody else was like down here.
Yeah.
And they was acting like the rent was due. Okay. Like,
honestly, it should have been called Kang and Janet KangdomMania. Nobody else fucking mattered. And I'm going to bring that up in the spoilers part of it. But it was all about them. 100%. Yeah.
1000%. They really brought it to me. Like, and I know, I had literally a few hours ago, I saw a TikTok, and it was Jonathan Majors, and he was talking about how he approached acting as Kang in this movie. And he was saying, like, this is somebody who has like such a vast concept of time because he's traveled to different multiverses and all of this stuff. And he's like, how is somebody who knows how things are going to happen, how would they talk? Would they talk fast or would they talk slow? Would they wouldn't waste their breath on like a bunch of like words, and they wouldn't overexert themselves. He like how in one part he was just doing things with his fingers. You know what I mean? Like, he has so much power that he's just like, I don't even have to do that much.
The blocking in the movie, everything that you just said, I could see him actually applying that. Like, now that I think about it, because I hadn't seen that, but now like thinking about that, yes, it definitely came.
This is somebody that literally spent God knows how long traveling time, traveling multiverses, ending people. He's just like, I got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
And he acts like he has all the time in the world.
Yeah.
He does not waste words. He does not like he just chef's kiss.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes. Yeah, I thought it was good. I think it was some things that disappointed me. I don't think this one was as funny as the previous Ant-Man movies have been.
Where was Luis, man?
I missed him so much. Honestly, I like with the story that they told, obviously it didn't make sense for him to be in the movie, but I wish he was there because I feel like it would have been funnier.
I feel like he should have narrated Scott's book.
Yes, he should have did the audiobook. You know, that's a real book. You could buy it.
Yes, I saw that.
That is hilarious. I love it. They funny for that.
I want it.
So yeah, if you're on the fence, what are you doing here? First of all,
yeah, why are you listening to a podcast about
right? But definitely go see it. You're gonna have to see it because it's playing a crucial role in the future movies. But if you think it's gonna be like Ant-Man 1 and 2, you might be a little bit disappointed because I feel like it's a little different. And but just go in with no expectations if you can.
They do get right to the drama though.
Yes, immediately.
That is one thing, like, they did not waste any time. I feel like within 15-20 minutes, boom, we in quantum realm already.
Oh, for sure. For people who don't like a whole lot of exposition, this is the movie for you because it was. I feel like it was not a lot of that at all.
And maybe it didn't need to be, but I also feel like the movie was missing something, and maybe it was the dialogue. Maybe that's what was like, wasn't really hidden for me.
Yeah.
I did think that there were funny parts, but the dialogue and the humor definitely weren't up to where the first two are. Really, the first one was just amazing. Hilarious.
To me. It was such
second one was good, but this one obviously it just kind of missed the mark of both too.
Yeah. All right, let's go into our spoilers. So I don't even know. The first thing I wrote was I miss Michael Pena. There was no reason for him to be here, but I still miss him. I wrote that down.
It's facts. One of the things that I was wondering about this movie was like continuity. Quantumnuity. Just made up a new word. Because like Janet kept saying throughout the movie like she was there for 30 years. So she was obviously, and for anybody who had the same question as I did, because I actually had to look it up, because they kept saying it wasn't like when Scott was there, he was there for 5 hours, but it was 5 years had passed on Earth, or you know, higher in Earth. I don't know. It's confusing. But apparently Scott was in a time vortex.
Oh, so he was not where Janet was.
Right. So he was in the quantum realm, but he was in a time vortex. And I was also confused while I was watching the movie because I was like, this does not look the same as where Janet was when she met Hank and all of that stuff. So I guess like she had to escape to that part. Like when she told them like, this is where y'all gotta be there at this specific time and all of this stuff so that they could like, you know, quantum entanglement, all that shit. She had to leave where she was in the quantum realm, like where they were in this movie, to go where Hank was. Okay. And that's why it looks so different, and that's why it was like fucking with Hank's head and everything while he was there.
Okay, because I was confused about that too. Because when we got to the end of the movie and they went out, I was like, okay, so how much time passed?
Exactly.
But none had passed apparently.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was weird
because they were not in a time vortex.
Okay, so that
I
wasn't
guess
a
that's
plot hole.
also,
that was just me not understanding what was going on.
Same, exactly. and I think that too, I think they could have explained that a little bit better, because that kind of like a lot of the time during the movie I was just like, okay, well, like when does this take place? How does this happen? Like for instance, like with the whole like Kang the Conqueror, obviously we've already seen He Who Remains. So I'm like, did him being banished start, I don't know, like is him being in the quantum realm, I don't know how to explain it, because I'm just like, it was so confusing to me while I was watching it. Basically, like, when He Who Remains got killed, did that happen because Kang was banished?
I think I get where you're going, because like,
but obviously like
He Who Remains is like outside of time, so isn't that like a constant thing?
He was at the end of time,
right?
Yeah.
And so like, when did this Kang get banished? What point in time are the other Kangs? Are they outside of time too, or are they in a pocket dimension or multiverse?
Right.
Where are they at? Yeah.
Where are they at? But then if Janet had been there for 30 years, then obviously, I don't know. It's very confusing.
Yeah.
And they didn't do a very good job of really explaining that either.
No.
Because I've watched, usually I don't watch videos to get clarification on things. I just kind of watch it as like because I can't take notes while I'm watching the movie. Mm-hmm. So I watch a breakdown video and take notes of things just to kind of jog my memory of thoughts that I had while I was watching the movie. Mm-hmm. But I've had to watch like 2 breakdown videos because I am so confused about all of that shit.
Yeah.
Maybe like, because I know like in Loki, Kang was saying, well, He Who Remains was saying that there were universes on top of each other. Mm-hmm. And then because they all started to like interact and all of that stuff, it started to break off.
And make incursions and all of that.
Right. So maybe everybody is existing simultaneously.
I think they are in a way.
And then when Sylvie kills He Who Remains, that's when shit fucks up. I don't know, but it seems like they were always gonna have a multiversal war, mm-hmm. and they're so far in the future too. I don't know. I'm confused, y'all.
Same.
And if y'all came here for more clarification, you came to the wrong fucking place.
I hope y'all just came here for the jokes. I really do. I hope y'all just came here for vibes. Because we'll have no answers.
Because every single time I think that I know and I understand, I'm still like,
yeah,
I don't understand.
I feel like, yeah, for like a normal person, this is very fucking confusing because we are a podcast of normal people and for normal people. Mm-hmm. I did binge watch all of Rick and Morty before I watched this movie, like on our hiatus. So I feel like that kind of prepared me for some like the weird ass outlandish shit, especially like the whole citadel of Ricks. Same thing as like all the Kangs.
I was just about to say, I think one of the writers or something like that, like did both.
Oh,
because
really?
I just watched a video and they kind of kept talking about the tie-in between Rick and Morty, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and Ant-Man.
I told Prince, I was like, oh, I'm so happy I watched Rick and Morty. I feel like it prepared me.
Right. One thing I will say is that it does not seem that Kang is a super villain.
Oh yeah. They hyped the fuck out of Kang, and at the end I was just like,
but was he wrong?
I'm Team Kang. He was not wrong. I feel like they were shooting first and asking questions later, and they did Kang wrong. I feel like what he was trying to say was that it was incursions and I was demolishing universes so that everybody else could be okay.
Exactly.
It was the whole train tracks thing. That's what was happening.
Because don't all of these universes already exist? But it's just the fact that they start to like overlap mm-hmm. and kind of branch off and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I feel like it's like what happened in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness when they was talking about like the incursions, like the 2 universes will collide and then they both just gonna fucking cease to exist. I think what he was doing was trying to avoid that from happening. But little Miss Janet came in, didn't ask no fucking questions, just saw him blowing
Captain
up people.
Save a hoe.
Right, Captain Save the Universe. You don't know shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's like after I watched all of my videos, and I think Marcel had even said something. He's like, so he wasn't trying to like kill people. I mean, he was killing people.
Yeah.
But those people weren't supposed to exist.
Yeah. It was a necessary evil. And that's the same thing that He Who Remains was probably trying to explain to Sylvie as.
Exactly.
I haven't watched it again, but pretty much he was saying like, I had to get rid of y'all so that somebody could be okay. Because mm-hmm. the shit was just going to implode if I didn't do that.
And everybody was going to be dead.
Right.
And after like, you know, like kind of remembering and watching a clip of that scene with He Who Remains, it does really seem that him and Kang, not that they were the same, maybe they are the same just from a different, obviously they're the same, mm-hmm. but you know, at the end of Loki he thinks he's at the regular TVA, but he's at like the Kang TVA.
Yeah, you remember? He was like in a different timeline or something, right?
Yeah. So maybe that's the one that Kang is at, but like and they kept talking about how they were, you know, he would erase different timelines as if they never existed. And it's just like, okay, that sounds like what the TVA did.
Yeah.
So how is that wrong?
Right. I feel like at the...
Because I don't think that he was wrong.
Said, if you got a better way, you could fucking do it. But until then...
But yeah, it seems like he kind of had the right idea. And everybody else was just mad that it involved murder. Just like they usually are.
Girl, a lot of parts in this movie frustrated the fuck out of me. I don't even know where to start. Let me just start with my biggest criticism about Kang being the villain. I feel like he should not have been the villain. And I saw some video. I did not like do my Googles to back this up, but I saw someone say like that the director wanted there to be more stakes. Like he wanted this to be a bigger scale for an Ant-Man movie. Because what we usually get is very like boots on the ground heist movie. It's just about him handling his small neighborhood
in his
problems.
Super suit.
Right. And so this one, obviously, we have him going up against somebody that can save the world, like in the world for all intents and purposes and everything. And like, I feel like they did a great job of like making you be afraid of Kang before you can really see him and what he's capable of, just based on everybody else's like reactions about him, like, oh my god, like y'all looking for him. Oh my god, like they didn't say his name for a very long time.
He's like the Voldemort right now.
Yes.
He who shall not be named.
Michelle Pfeiffer's performance, like the bitch looked genuinely scared. She was so concerned, and so I'm like, oh my god, he's bad. And I feel like Jonathan Majors did a great job like portraying somebody who is very calculated, controlled, but fucking unhinged. And capable
He's
of
definitely
a lot of things.
that.
Yeah.
He is unhinged.
But then, like, nobody died. A mountain of ants killed him. But
they didn't even kill him, because then he got back to the thing.
Well, they ate his suit and fucked him up a little bit.
Right.
And so I was just like, I don't know, like, it seemed like it was fine. It seemed like you didn't need the Avengers, and Kang is supposed to be this Avengers level threat. I feel like maybe it shouldn't have been Kang the Conqueror. Maybe it should have been a variant of Kang.
A version of him.
Right. And again, this is me coming back with no knowledge of the comic books. I know it's a whole lot. It's Immortus, it's Ramatut. Those are the ones that we saw at the end. But it just seemed like a lot of fucking plot armor. Like, in his little vision, in her vision, she was seeing him just eviscerating people, turn them to fucking dust, like that Tom Cruise movie I was just talking about. But then when you're in the battle and you see your team is losing and you jump down, you're hitting one person with a laser at a time. And you hitting those people with lasers and they exploding. But in your vision, you did a big laser and everybody in the radius was exploded. Right. And then you hit Ant-Man with that and then they just pushed back a little bit. Like, it started to fall apart for me in that moment. Because I was just like,
I can see that.
He was the big bad, but y'all seem like y'all doing okay with the power of 3. So I don't know. And then when I really thought Scott was, we've been saying we thought Scott was gonna die in this movie, but at the end when he was up in there
stomped out
with them Creed combos, I was like, oh, here we come.
He ain't got nothing. He ain't got nothing for him.
You don't got nothing for that. But it was cracking me up when I was watching this movie because it reminded me of like the Thanos scene with the Hulk reminded me of this too. But like, you know how usually it's like a big battle scene in these movies and they like shooting laser beams at each other or like pushing each other into like walls and the walls are crumbling. Yeah. No, this nigga was squaring up. He was running the ones with Ant-Man and beating the fuck out of him. Yeah. I was like,
and the crazy, like, and Ant-Man was just like, okay, as long as my family good, like, I'll just get my ass beat for all of eternity.
Yeah. It was finna be that. And
they ripped off his suit and you saw them guns and you like, oh, Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
Oops. You picked the wrong one.
Yeah. And then like it was just fine after that. Like nothing happened. Like he didn't die.
But maybe that's how like at the end when Scott is just like everything is okay, right? Like he's like, but he did say that like worse was coming. Like I did do the right thing, right? Like maybe that's how we're also supposed to feel.
That's definitely how I felt because He was talking. I was like, I feel like he's saying some very important stuff and nobody's listening to him. Y'all just ready to kill him. But
because he black.
Hello? But I don't know. It didn't sit right with me. And then another thing that bothered me was at the end. So they hijacked the little battery core and opened up a portal to send them back home. So the plan was for all of them to jump through the portal. And then what? Y'all was just going to leave him with the piece of equipment that he wanted the whole time?
That is very true.
Yeah, like it worked out because, she jumped back through at the end and then they got rid of him so they don't have to worry about him no more.
I did not even think about that.
I was just, in the movie, I was scratching my head. I was like, but wait, don't y'all need that? Who gonna get it? I thought that he was gonna sacrifice himself.
Oh. Yeah, I thought that too.
Or that Janet would. I thought that Janet might say y'all go through at the end and then not tell them that she was gonna stay so that she could destroy the core thing. But that didn't happen, which I feel like that's what should have happened because they could have always went back and got her anyway. They did it the first time. They could do it again.
Exactly.
So I was just...
You're making some excellent points.
Yeah.
That is definitely a plot hole.
Yeah. That part was just kind of underwhelming. I kind of felt like MODOK should have just been the villain and that maybe Kang should have showed up at the end or something.
Part... I know a lot of people enjoyed MODOK. Annoyed me. I was just annoying. Like, why did y'all and I hate to use this word, why did y'all nerf Darren Cross? Because he was super unhinged and crazy and then they kind of made him goofy.
Yeah. And but I kind of feel like with MODOK, he has to be goofy because look at him. Can we take that seriously?
No, 100%. I do agree. I do agree with that. And maybe that is the characterization of MODOK. But the fact at the end, he's like, I've always thought of you as a brother and now I get to die an Avenger.
And they was like,
what?
Sure.
Where did that when come from? When
he turned so easily too. I don't think they ever said how many years he spent down there because the whole time thing we don't know. Right. So it's you, in theory, been down here. Look at your body. You fucked up, and you've been with Kang. You've been evil this whole time, and Cassie Lang gave you a little pep talk, and now you ready to sacrifice yourself for these people that did that to you. Exactly.
It was. They could have left it out, but I guess if he had been in the quantum realm, then it would have been well, what happened to Darren Cross? Then it would have been people that's well, what happened to him? I
guess. I thought he was dead. Based off of how he got all balled up, I thought, it's no way he survived that shit.
Exactly. And they could have left it at that, honestly.
Yeah, I just felt like it should have been maybe one or the other. I don't know if anybody else is going to agree with me on that, but I felt like Kang, if he's supposed to be this huge, big threat, his name is Kang the Conqueror. He didn't really conquer shit. I mean, I guess he conquered the realm because he had his whole...
conquered the quantum realm.
Yeah.
But... is that really... I mean, I guess that's a universe within itself, but it's not
I mean, it wasn't nobody down there that was as powerful or as smart as Ant-Man and them. They couldn't have... They ain't had their own Star Wars resistance going on down there.
Apparently they did, and they just got murked.
Well, I don't know.
And this movie kind of gave me a little bit of a existential crisis. Oh. Because if you remember back in Ant-Man 2, when we did the breakdown of that movie, there was this movie in the background. Sorry, I don't know why I'm playing with scissors, but there was a movie playing in the background that Scott was watching, and it was so there could be a universe in the in the tip of my finger, and that was cool because that was actually kind of the poster art for KangdomMania. But the fact that okay, let's just say that there's the quantum realm is on the tip of my finger, and then you just kind of expand out and now we have like our universe, but whose finger are we on? Like,
you know what else
crazy.
does that to me? The end of Men in Black. Both of them.
I haven't seen Men in Black in a really long time.
I think the end of the second one, it was like they zoomed out and we were like, our galaxy was inside of like a big ass marble, and it was some aliens playing like a marble game with other galaxies, like other marbles that contained unlimited numbers of galaxies. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I don't like that.
Don't feel good.
I don't like that at all.
Yes.
I don't know. It just kind of makes you like, and during this movie, I had to keep reminding myself, like, they are not in space.
Yeah.
They are very, very teeny tiny. Like,
and like a dust particle surrounded by like millions of dust particles.
Like less than.
Yeah.
It's insane to me. Like that the movie did accomplish that. Gave me an existential crisis. I mean, it's not that hard to do, but
it's right. I feel like we have an existential crisis every other day.
Very much.
I'll be texting me like, I'm a speck of dust. I'm finna go spend $300 at Target because nothing matters.
Nothing matters. Like, why does it, like, money isn't real. The internet is all
real.
Above us.
I'm not even real.
You ever think about the fact that, like, you used to have to access the internet and now it's just everywhere? I think about that all the time.
Yeah.
And that money just is super fake. But anyway.
Yeah. Let's not
We're
go
not
down
going
that
to spiral right now.
Yeah. Another thing that I felt like kind of disappointed me in this movie is that we really didn't get like a heist for real.
Yeah.
I thought that part of the movie was going to be a lot bigger than it was, and it ended up being resolved really quickly. So when he had to like go down and steal the little ball thing that she had shrunk. And so as he's going down there, and then Hope and them is also trying to go down there, I really thought he was going to get it and give it to Kang, or like be about to give it to him. And then she was going to be like, wait. And he was going to like betray her so that he could get his baby back. Because what this man been saying the whole fucking movie is that he want to live a soft life and he want to be a daddy. That's all he wanted. That's literally,
honestly, I get it.
Yes. I'm not mad at him at all. But you know, Hope is the one, Hope and her daddy and her mama, they were really the superheroes. Scott just got roped into some shit. So I really thought like that whole like moral conflict and like him being about to like betray them was really gonna be something. And like him betraying Hope and not even like talking to her about none of that shit first. Like how he just made a unilateral decision like, I'm finna go get this thing and I'm finna give it to him because he said I was gonna get my daughter back, period.
Right.
But when she showed up,
she went, yeah.
It was just like nothing happened.
No, I definitely think that it would have been better if he like kind of betrayed his new family to save his not his best friend, his baby girl.
Yeah.
Because I think that like that's kind of a part of his like characterization is that he's gonna do anything. Literally, he will do anything for that little girl. Mm-hmm. And I think that it would have been cool to have, like you said, like a moral conflict of him choosing between like, do I choose my girl and her family who basically like we've kind of become like a new family, or do I choose my daughter who is of my blood? And I think that would have been a really good.
Yeah. But that didn't happen. And so they just got it, and then it was okay. And she wasn't mad at him.
Or was it? Or
it wasn't. But I don't know. That happened. But what else? Dang, what Kang wasn't the bad guy. The white people was. Kangdom in all caps.
Welcome to the Kangdom. What a players play.
What else did we want to talk about? I enjoyed Janet a whole lot in this movie.
100%. Oh my goodness. She had her a little booty call.
Yes.
And she introduced her booty call to her husband.
Did you see the lip bite? She bit her lip when she was saw Bill Murray. I was like, oh, they was into some shit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. They was definitely doing some quantum banging.
I just want to know what the fuck she was doing, because Kang was like, so what did you see when you looked inside my mind? Like, what else? Did you see how I feel about you? Like, I just really thought that was next.
Ooh. And ooh.
Bill Murray, so that's your husband. Whatever. She was out here for 30 years. And that was my coochie for 30 years. That's what that was given to me. I was like, Janet. Whoa.
Use a dick.
Mm-hmm. I would have liked to see more of her. Like, I would have loved if this was like a TV show. I always say that because I love TV shows. But like her little journeys down there, and then like the bitch got hands. Like,
I was just about to say, like, when she was fighting, I was like, why couldn't we get more of this?
Yes, like, wow.
I really wanted some more Janet.
Yes,
like she gave us what, like, hey, I'm not complaining with what we got. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to see more of her, like, whooping ass, because she slid on the floor and she was doing little combos and stuff like that. I was like, damn, girl.
She was like in her HBIC era. The whole time they was down there, she was like, we're going to go this way and we're going to do this. Don't do that. And she talking to people like she was that girl.
Speaking a different language.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, girl.
Come on, Janet.
I loved her. To see it.
And I feel like I'm happy that she was there, but since this is Ant-Man and the Wasp, there was barely any of the Wasp in this fucking movie. Like,
no, she was definitely a little bit of a muted character.
Yeah, I don't know, like, if
maybe they didn't say which Wasp. They didn't say which Wasp.
Yeah. You damn right about that. Did you see Michael Douglas? He was on some red carpet and they were like, oh yeah, you're in Kang, KangdomMania, whatever. Are you gonna do another one? And he was like, only if I get to die. I was like, oh.
Michael Douglas is on his way out. Like, let's just let him enjoy his life. Because he looked kind of like gaunt. Like, he looked a little bit like skinnier, and obviously like he is like 100 years old. So you know what? We love you, Michael Douglas, but you go ahead and rest.
We love you, Grandpa.
For real. I thought that it was cute that she was calling him Grandpa.
Yes.
Even though, like, it really hasn't been that long that they've been together and all of that stuff. But I think that was cute.
I like that. I like her relationship with Hope. I like their little family dynamic all together. I thought, like, a lot of the stuff that we got in, like, the first, like, 20 minutes of the movie, that was really nice. Like, seeing what Hope was doing and seeing how, like, they just interact with each other. I love seeing Scott just be happy and just, like, on his little book tour. Like, I love him being in his, like, live, laugh, love era. Like, it's so cute to me.
I love it, too.
I did have a little bit of issue with fucking Cassie, though, because she's thinking she getting arrested and using her little cool tricks to shrink police cars. And then she gonna look at her daddy and be like, well, at least I'm doing something in my life. Bitch, he saved the universe.
People, and they kept saying, oh, he saved the world. And I was like, and in the movies, I was like, no, he saved the universe. Yes. Like, y'all not about to keep downplaying his accomplishments. He did not just save the world. And maybe because they haven't been to space, they don't have, like, a concept of it. But, like, no, he saved the entire universe.
Yes. And I feel like they was doing too much. People. And I didn't like why they was in the car. That Hope didn't say nothing either. Like,
exactly. Like, girl, you fought Thanos too.
You were there. And my thing is, y'all, he has to be so fucking traumatized. If you just think about the shit that he been through, because again, he don't have no superpowers. He's not even like from a lineage of superheroes like Hope ass. He's just a regular dude. He's not
even like a genius.
He was on the battlefield.
He just got a regular ass bachelor's degree.
Yes, he's a regular man, and the only reason he was involved in that shit was so that he could save everybody else, so that he can get his baby back. Hope was down there. Well, she was blipped away, and he wanted her to come back. If it was not for that, nobody would have been looking for fucking Ant-Man. He probably would have been there like raising his daughter. I don't know, because he didn't know. Had he not been in the quantum realm and dealing with all of that stuff, he would have no idea how to fix that stuff. But he did. And again, he was in the battle. Really,
like, honestly, he is the inciting incident. Yeah. So y'all not about to treat him like he was just like an extra.
Right.
This move, like, Endgame would not have happened if it wasn't for Ant-Man. It wouldn't. So he earned his soft life, okay?
I think he's done. I think it's okay to be done.
He's done enough.
Yes. And you know what? Me being a regular bitch, if I did all that stuff and I was on the battlefield 20 feet away from Thanos, if I happen to survive that, I'm not risking it again. I don't want to be an Avenger. No. What's to say that you go survive some stuff after that? Like, no.
I feel like his level of risk is up there with like Pepper Potts. Yeah. You think that Pepper Potts about to risk what she got? No.
She got a super suit too. You think that bitch is flying around saving lives? No. She's at home with her child.
Exactly.
And that's what he wanted to do.
Yeah, they were definitely like kind of belittling him and disrespecting his fucking authority. Like, y'all need to...
Right. And she like,
lay off.
Oh, you need to do this and that. You need to be a hero. Girl, it's very easy to say that when you are 17 and you really don't have shit else to lose. Mm-hmm. He has a lot to lose.
And let's just think about like where he was when we met him. He was literally getting out of fucking jail. Mm-hmm. And now X amount of years later, he's on a book tour because he saved the universe and he's an Avenger.
His life is like, one big ghetto blessing.
For real, because he was definitely doing some hood rat shit with his friends to get to this point.
Like, none of this shit. He was almost a fucking statistic. His life is not where it should have been. Okay,
he was just trying. I was listening to this video or watching this video, and they're like, he was just trying to pay child support.
Literally. Okay. Like, let's give this man a break.
And now he's like constantly saving the universe, and it's just like, let's not belittle him. He's done enough. He can just relax and drive his little Bentley or whatever kind of car it was.
Yes, because that's exactly what the fuck I'll be doing.
I'd be like, little girl, you need to sit. When you save trillions of people from being non-existent, then you can talk. Yeah, sit your little ass in the back.
And then I saw people on TikTok was mad at her anyway because they was calling her like a fake ally because they like, yeah, you doing all this, but why didn't you just like blow up like a piece of bread and like end world hunger? Like, you could have been doing a lot of other stuff and you just going to protest and being a little spicy. I don't know. But I know what it's like to be 17.
Yeah,
you think you got everything.
She don't have that much forethought yet. Her prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed. Exactly. So let's just give her a few more years. Yeah. Before we judge her, and then if she's still a little shit, then we can judge her.
Right. Anything else you want to say about this movie?
I don't think so. I think we're all good.
Well, how many Infinity Stones out of 6 would you give this?
I feel like I would give this movie like a 4.5 because it was enjoyable. It just wasn't great. Yeah. And I got to look at Jonathan Majors for I don't know how long.
He sold it for me, honestly. So I would watch him. And I'm looking forward to seeing more.
Oh, we should talk about this. Seriously. We should talk about the post-credit scenes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So the first the mid-credit scene is where we saw, like you said, like it was like the Council of Kangs, and we saw Pharaoh Ramatut and Immortus, and I can't remember exactly what they were saying, but they was basically saying like
it sounded like it was it sounded like it was a fucking trap, like that they shouldn't have killed Kang the Conqueror. It sounded like some shit is really about to pop off. That was interesting. I did giggle. I thought it was a little silly to see him with a blue face and a thick ass 4C beard.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is really goofy.
Yeah. And then in the post credit scene that was his variant Victor Timely, and he's in like the early 1900s talking about time and his technology and all this stuff. And who is in the audience? Loki.
That got me really excited. I was like, well, girl, I'm ready for season 2. Come on.
I was so excited.
One thing I do want to say is, like, can we stop with this whole, like, you really have to wait till the end of the credits thing? I think it's a little bit overdone at this point. Like, the first one, like, I get the initial credits when it's, like, all pretty and it's just like, dun-dun-dun-dun, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Fine. And then it's the post-credit scene. I'm fine with that. Why do we have to wait another 6 minutes to get to the second one? We all 100%. Know it's there.
100%.
It's not a surprise anymore. Like back in the day in phase 1 of the Infinity Saga, when we was like, ooh, will we, won't we?
Is there? And you couldn't just like Google it because nobody was like putting like articles out there like that.
Right. But at this point in time, like I feel like you could have just put them bitches back to back.
Yes. Or just do like, you know, like a cute little credit scene and then one and then like some like a little bit of credits and then another one. But why do I have to know where this movie was filmed?
Yeah.
Why do I
not watching it? Who watching it? No. Y'all reading the words on the screen?
No, I be talking.
Yes.
I'll be doing something completely different.
Yeah, so I
don't know about y'all. I don't want to watch the song credits. I don't care.
No.
I don't care who the assistant AD was. I don't. Well, I guess that's redundant. Assistant director. But I don't care about it. I don't care what the title is. I don't care.
Yeah. Okay, so I gave this movie 3.5 Infinity Stones. I think that's solid. Like I said, I enjoyed it. It was fine. It was enjoyable. I did laugh. I enjoyed seeing the characters. I do like these characters, and I enjoyed Kang a lot. I enjoyed the little Star Wars feel of the movie, even though we wasn't in space, but all the different creatures and how creative it was, and it was fucking weird. I love that weird ass shit. I thought that was cool, and I had a good time. I don't think this was like terrible at all. I just felt like it could have been a lot better, and I felt like maybe I had more expectations because of Kevin Feige constantly saying like this is a Thanos level threat and da-da-da-da-da, but baby Thanos was fucking their asses up over like the period of 6 or 7 movies. So I don't know, but you know what? It's a vision and I'm not privy to the vision, so I'm not gonna say like how everybody else is like, oh, Marvel's going down the drain. I don't believe it. I just think
we're just gonna wait and see.
I'm just gonna wait and see. So how would you rank this amongst the Ant-Man movies?
Last.
Same.
Like, even though I enjoyed it, but it is definitely like, and also, you know, I've seen the other ones several times, but I think that the other ones are just better movies, even though the second one isn't even my favorite. And I wish that we would have gotten a little bit more like, okay, well, what happened with like Ghost? Because that's why y'all went to the quantum realm in the first place at the end of the second one. Obviously, I know that doesn't have anything to do with Kang. So I was just like, I just had to kind of get over it. Isn't she gonna be in Thunderbolts?
Yeah, she is.
Hold on.
No, she's on the poster.
She is, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why I was just like, maybe Kang feel like he should have had his own movie. Because I feel like it's more like to Ant-Man and his characters and stuff that I would have liked to see in this movie.
Yes.
And that's why I was like, it probably should have been a TV show, but maybe I'm asking for too much because I do care about Janet and how she's doing, and I care about his daughter and how their relationship is, since this is the first time he's consistently been in her life for her whole life. And like you said about Ghost, because she's going to be in the Thunderbolts, and that's going to be an ensemble movie. So I feel like it would be better.
We're not going to get more.
Exactly. But, you know, whatever.
Maybe they'll just have a throwaway line. Well, not really a throwaway line, but a line in the movie that's just like, oh, yeah, and then Janet Van Dyne saved me from quantum particles.
Right.
But then how did they save her unless she got blipped away, too? Because she was damn near disappearing.
Yeah.
So...
QTNA.
I guess we just gonna have to find out. We just gonna have to fuck around and find out.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about what we watching? That's our last segment.
I feel like we watching the same thing.
The Last of Us.
Yes. And then before that, I was watching The White Lotus.
Me and Prince watched the first season of Reacher on Amazon Prime. It's a random ass show. It was good. So that's a Tom Clancy book, and the character Reacher is supposed to be like this big, just huge, strong, super smart, like ex-army guy. And so the guy who does it, Alan Richter or whatever, I can't know how to pronounce his last name. He fits that perfectly. And so as we were watching, I was like, wait a minute. Wasn't it a movie called Reacher featuring Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher? And Prince was like, yeah.
Isn't
Yeah, exactly what you're thinking.
When you said it, I was just like, isn't that a movie called Jack Reacher?
Yeah, it is. And Tom Cruise and all 5'4" of him was trying to be somebody who's supposed to be like 6'5". Delusion. Delusions. I was like, wow, they really just let Tom Cruise do whatever the fuck he wants.
And he probably be financing it, and that's why. Yes. Be like he paying for these movies to get made, so he could just keep doing whatever the hell he wants.
Man, that's crazy. I think I watched like half of that movie, but we did watch the whole first season of that TV show. It was fine. It's not phenomenal. I enjoyed it. I mostly liked looking at Alan Richter. But it's like an easy show, like if like a whodunit kind of cop show. It's a light watch. Nothing that's you're gonna really blow your socks off. But I had a good time.
Yeah, besides Last of Us, I finally watched the second season of Only Murders in the Building, which was really good. I love Martin Short and Steve Martin together. Like, they are just so funny. And then like Selena Gomez is just like the freaking cherry on top. And so I love period pieces. I don't know if people know that about me. I love movies that take place in different time periods. We watched a show called Medici, and I think I mentioned it on the podcast before, but we finished like the whole series. Sean Bean is in it. He's in the second season, and yes, he does. Oh. Aww. As I was watching it, I was just like, dang, that's crazy. Sean and it's Bean based off of Bean. Like, I know, it's based off of like real events, and it was like just really interesting. I loved it. What else have I been watching? I've started rewatching New Girl. It's my breastfeeding show. I just put it on in the middle of the night, and then it's just, I let it, eventually it starts watching me.
The Office was my breastfeeding show.
Oh, and I've also started like watching Modern Family, and I don't think that show is aging as well as it could. Oh, it's a really funny show, but it's just very white. Yeah, it is a very white show, and I don't really like the way that Sofia Vergara's character is like a caricature. Yeah, that kind of bothers me. Like,
when did that show come out? Like early 2000s?
I think it started coming out in like 2009 or 10 or something like that. So it was like like the internet was around, but people were still very ignorant.
Yeah, it was a different time.
And it's crazy because it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Yeah. But I don't think that this show is going to age nearly as well. But it's shit. I don't give a fuck. It's funny to me. But as I'm watching it, I'm just like, cringe. Like, the way that they kind of like talk about her accent, or because she is like, her and her son are literally the only people of color on the show, like main characters. So I'm just like, heavy eye roll. Yeah. But it's funny.
Are you caught up on Abbott?
I watched, the last episode I watched was the not Halloween, Valentine's Day episode.
I think that's the last one.
I think there's one more episode. It is. What's today? Wednesday?
That. Yeah.
So there is another episode. And you know what's so cute? That episode was 2:14.
It was. Oh.
Yes, I saw that and I thought that it was freaking adorable.
I love that show so much.
I think I'm behind like one or two episodes.
Okay,
there might
so we
be an
won't talk
episode
about
coming
it.
On today.
I think it's another episode after the Valentine's Day episode. Maybe. Because I feel like I saw stuff after
sure, because there, when I went on Hulu yesterday, it said that there was a new episode. Okay. But it's Wednesday, so I think that there's another episode coming out today. So I know for sure I'm going to have 2 episodes to watch.
Okay. Other than that, I think that's all I'm watching. I just read Annihilation, the book that that movie is based off of. The first one, it's like 3 books. So I'm excited. I finished the first one. I'm finna read the other 2. But that's it. That's all I got going on, y'all. And I guess you won't hear from us until May, probably.
Unless Secret Wars decide to come out. Why do I keep calling it that? Secret Invasion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I was trying to log into Canva. But yeah, hey, thanks for hanging out with us. We're the South Side of Wakanda podcast, and this was our KangdomMania review and discussion. Yeah, I'm not reading off of something, so I don't really know what to say. I don't know when we're going to be back.
Yeah.
But, follow us on Instagram, TikTok.
We won't be posting on there no more, but just follow us there just in case.
Just follow us. Yeah. Just do it.
We do plan to come back this year. That's on my 2023 bingo card. It's to restart the podcast with consistent episodes.
100%. Once I get this whole mothering down, because getting ready for this episode was
an ordeal.
A process.
Yeah.
Woo child. Like, we have to try and coordinate, like, get the baby, like, fed and sleepy, but not too early. Mm-hmm. It has to be, like, right on time so that he falls asleep. And then they ended up just leaving the house, and then you had work meetings. So we definitely want to get back to it. I miss it. We said that. I miss the Netflix shows. Mm-hmm. I miss
I'm ready to watch what was right. Isn't like The Punisher 2 our next show? Like, oh my god,
I don't even know. I think that was the last show that we watched, and I know maybe it's Jessica Jones.
Maybe one of those.
I don't remember, but I miss it.
I do too,
so much.
We trying to come back, y'all. We have not forgotten about the podcast. We are still very much wanting to be here. It's just a little complicated right now. That's all.
Life be lifing sometimes.
Yeah.
So
look, life be trying to stump me out like Sharkeisha.
Life got hands.
Definitely got hands. Thanos
life
level
is a
hands.
Thanos level threat.
It is.
My God, Brittany.
Amazing. Truly amazing.
This is why we miss it.
Yes.
But yeah, subscribe.
Yeah.
And keep listening.
Send
we
us
have
emails.
hella episodes.
Send us emails
for you to go back and listen to.
Right. So we
southsideofwakanda@gmail.com. And if maybe we can do if we get hella freaking emails, we can do an email episode. Yes. And that would be easy.
A mailbag episode. Yeah, we could do that without any preparation. Thanks. We just rambling at this point.
I know. Okay, bye y'all.
Bye.